this happening and that was great. I thought it was at least good of Jesse Jackson to step up the afternoon, because that's what people were saying.
Well, he was forced to after he said the frowns upon him.
Well, even to say one thing, I haven't heard anything from Al Sharpton.
No.
So let's go now face the White House and find out how the administration feels, because they did weigh in on a case in Florida, as we know, and then weighed in on the verdict, as you know. So Ed Henry asked Josh Earnest as press secretary. He's filling in. Let's listen.
Any reaction to the Christopher Lane case?
I'm not familiar with it, actually.
Oklahoma, this 22-year-old Australian, 22 or 23, I've seen different reports. A baseball player came from Australia, was targeted apparently by 3 African-American young men who, the Australian was out on a jog, and these young men apparently told the police they were bored and they thought it would just be fun to kill him. Yeah. Any reaction to that?
Well, just that this sounds like a pretty tragic case. I wouldn't want to get ahead of the legal process here. The president, I think, himself has spoken pretty eloquently about violence in our communities.
Why hasn't he spoken out on this in this case? You said there was a judicial proceeding. There was one in the Trayvon Martin case. He spoke out extensively on that one.
I think that he answered it.
He was in the Rose Garden?
Yeah, he got asked a
Yeah.
question about it.
And he didn't have to answer, but he did.
And
then he came out here himself.
At the conclusion of the legal process,
sure.
and shared some thoughts.
For several minutes.
Sure. That are, I think, where he expressed his concerns about the impact of violence in communities all across the country.
That's extraordinary for him to say, I'm not familiar with that, actually. It was in big headlines on Drudge for like a day or two.
Days, right.
And then for him to say, well, I don't want to get ahead of the legal process. Well, the president certainly did that when he weighed in on Trayvon Martin, way ahead of
and the professor
the
in Cambridge acted stupidly.
Henry
Here's
Gates.
the thing. Here's the problem. You know, many people say the president shouldn't have talked about one case, because if he speaks on one case, now this opens the door. Does he have to speak on all the other cases that have proceeded after that, such as this one?